Hey, Emily, I can't take this anymore. Can you believe she's doing nothing even though she's in her last month of pregnancy? What kind of parenting did you do?
Oh, hello, Gerald. Mind filling me in on what you're talking about? It's all coming out of the blue, and I'm a bit caught off guard here. Can you shed some light on the situation?
Oh, so you're playing dumb now. What else could I possibly referring to? It's none other than your super lazy daughter. Just picture the horror show that is my house right now. It's disgustingly filthy and in complete chaos. The bathroom floor is disgustingly dirty, and there's a thick layer of dust lurking under every table. You know what? You've utterly failed as a parent. You couldn't even manage to teach your daughter the basic skill of properly cleaning a house? Shameful, really.
I get it. You're frustrated. But let's not be too tough on my daughter, Brenda. Have you ever noticed how huge her baby bump is? It's not realistic to expect her to be bending down and cleaning with that belly, right? If you're so worked up about your house being dirty, why not take matters into your own hands and clean it yourself? Instead of pointing fingers, let's find a solution that doesn't involve putting unnecessary pressure on Brenda.
Are you kidding me right now? I've got a ton of work on my plate at the company. I'm not just lazing around all day like Brenda. She's the one who's staying home all the time, so I expect her to give it her all and handle those household chores like a boss. No half-hearted attempts, but full-on perfection. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on a sec. Are we talking about the same Brenda here? 'Cause if we are, you've got it all wrong. My daughter is definitely not staying at home. She's still going to work every single day, just like she did before she got pregnant.
Look, I couldn't care less about what Brenda does. She probably stuck in some dead-end job earning peanuts. Who gives a damn, really? The truth is, I'm the one bringing home the bacon in this family, and it's an absolute disgrace to walk into this dump of a house after a hard day's work. Unlike your daughter, who's clearly accustomed to living in a dumpster fire thanks to her useless parents, I have some freaking standards. I refuse to tolerate a filthy pigsty. It's a clear indication of nothing but pure selfishness and laziness.
I think you might be expecting a bit too much from my daughter. Trust me, I've been through pregnancy myself, and I know firsthand how challenging it can be to handle all those morning sickness symptoms and cope with the physical and emotional changes. As her husband, it's only fair that you lend a helping hand with the household chores. It's important to spread the workload and make things easier for everyone.
You know what? I can't waste my precious time on someone who can't even handle the simple task of looking after the house while I'm out there busting my ass at work every damn day. I don't care what excuse you have, laziness is a big no-no in my household. That's why I'm leaving, Brenda.
You're seriously considering leaving my daughter just because she can't fulfill all your demands when it comes to household chores?
Oh, absolutely. Let's get real here. What good is a woman if she can't even handle the domestic chores properly? If a woman can't excel at housework, she is basically useless. Let's face it, a woman's worth is solely determined by her ability to scrub toilets and fold laundry. And that's the harsh reality, plain and simple. End of story.
Let me tell you something. Life isn't about having a perfect maid for a wife. It's about love, understanding, and supporting each other through thick and thin. There's more to a partnership than just ticking off a checklist of chores, you know.
To be honest, Brenda is just a total waste of space when it comes to handling household chores. She's practically a hindrance, always getting in my way and screwing things up. That's why I've made up my mind to send her your way. Feel free to throw a big, extravagant party to welcome your daughter back into your home if that's what floats your boat. Either way, I don't want Brenda anywhere near me for another freaking minute. She's become nothing more than a burden, and I'm done dealing with her.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you would speak about my precious daughter in such a horrible way. What happened to all those promises and vows you made on your wedding day? Were they all just empty lies?
You do realize that marriage vows are a two-way street, right? Brenda has completely failed in fulfilling her so-called duties as a wife, and I refuse to be stuck with someone so utterly useless.
Surely you're aware that she's carrying a child, aren't you?
Are you kidding me? Why should I give a damn about some useless unborn child? You do understand how things work, don't you? More kids mean more burdens and expenses to deal with. So, honestly, it's actually a good thing that I can get rid of both Brenda and her child. What a relief to be free from such a hassle. Good riddance, I say.
Listen, Gerald, if you're divorcing my daughter, you still have responsibilities. Alimony and child support are important obligations that you can't avoid forever.
Hold your horses. Who said anything about me getting divorced from Brenda? I'm just leaving her at your place for a few days to teach her a lesson, to make her realize how pathetic she is and hopefully transform her into a better wife when she finally crawls back to me. Anyway, I've got more important things to attend to, so I'm out of here. Take care of my little experiment, Emily. See you whenever I feel like it. Bye.
Gerald, I demand an explanation from you now.
What's your problem? Can't you comprehend the fact that I'm actually working here? Couldn't you have picked a more convenient time to bother me instead of interrupting my precious work? Oh, for the love of... You and Brenda are just insufferable. Constantly getting in the way and annoying everyone with your petty problems. Honestly, it's like you two have a special talent for being a nuisance.
How dare you conveniently leave Brenda at my doorstep and vanish into thin air like it's no big deal? Do you have any idea how irresponsible and thoughtless that is?
Oh, did I not make myself clear enough for your feeble mind? I clearly warned you in advance that I would be dumping Brenda at your place, so your only responsibility was to let her into your precious little house. Don't even try to tell me that you're incapable of doing something as basic as that.
Gerald, your unreasonable and disrespectful behavior towards me is absolutely appalling. Have you no regard for the elderly? Show some respect, will you? Listen up. I demand to know what you've done to my daughter. What on earth did you do to make her this way? Did you even bother to glance at your own wife? Take a good look. Dark circles mar her eyes, her hair, nails, and skin are all dried up. Her fingers are cracked and bleeding. Her expression is laden with darkness, and her gaze remains fixated on a single point. It's as if she's lost the strength to even muster a smile. Do you even have the capacity to comprehend the anguish and devastation a mother endures, witnessing her daughter deteriorate so drastically in a matter of months?
What? Are you really blaming me for that? Brenda's the one who slowed down due to her big belly, so how could it be my fault? Listen, housework is a woman's job, and Brenda even lied about feeling sick just to get out of it.
Let's not jump to conclusions about my daughter lying and being sick. Frankly, I highly doubt that's the case. Surely you're aware that she's carrying a child, aren't you? Well, let me remind you that those morning sickness symptoms can strike at any given moment.
What? Don't make it sound like morning sickness is some kind of deadly, exhausting ordeal. It's not a disease, and every woman has to go through it during pregnancy. Do you even realize that your precious daughter had the nerve to ask me for help with the chores, knowing damn well that I've been working my ass off all day? Unbelievable. Anyway, Brenda is in the way and neglecting her responsibilities, so please take care of her until she pops out that baby. Thanks.
So you're telling me you want Brenda to stay at my place until she gives birth? But wait a minute. Wasn't it just a few days you mentioned before?
Well, I've had a change of heart, and I've decided it's best if Brenda stays with you instead of me. You see, I'm always swamped with work and completely clueless when it comes to taking care of pregnant women. But hey, you're a woman, and you happen to be Brenda's mother. So naturally, you must know exactly what to do, right? Enjoy the quality bonding time.
Fine then. I'll take her in. I can't trust you to care for her anymore.
Look, if your daughter is such a mess right now, it's because you failed to raise her properly. I get that your husband passed away when Brenda was just a little kid. With no father around, she doesn't even know how to treat her husband. I'm the one suffering here. I'm literally the victim.
Gerald, I must say your behavior is truly intolerable. No man should speak about his wife in such a manner. It's not only cruel, but also completely inhumane.
You know what? I don't really care. Oh, and here's another thing. Once the baby's born, come and pick it up yourself. Meanwhile, please re-educate your daughter, Brenda, on how to be a proper wife, alright?
You're a terrible man, Gerald. I deeply regret letting Brenda marry you. So do us all a favor and just disappear. Get lost and stay out of sight, both mine and my daughter's. I never want to set eyes on you ever again. Got it? Brenda, it's way past lunchtime. How about you take a little break from all the housework and join me for a nice lunch? It'll be a good chance to relax and refuel.
It's fine, Mom. You can go ahead and eat first.
Hey Brenda, I don't want to pry or anything, but there's something I've been wanting to ask you. It's pretty important to me, so I'd appreciate it if you could give me an honest answer.
Where is it, Mom? I'm kinda in the middle of cleaning the house right now, so I might be a bit busy. What do you need?
Hey Brenda, I've noticed ever since you moved in with me, you've been looking pretty down and gloomy. Is everything all right, sweetheart? Is something bothering you?
No, nothing's wrong, Mom. I'm totally normal, you know?
Could you please fill me in on what happened between you and Gerald? You've been so quiet lately, and it's really got me worried. I feel bad that I haven't been able to spend as much time with you as before. You know I've been caught up with this latest project, and I only just got back to our country not too long ago.
It's all right, Mom. Remember, I told you before that you could go on your work trip and not worry about me. I mean it. I can handle things on my own.
Honestly, Brenda, I must admit I was completely taken aback when Gerald called me and brought you over to my house. It was such a shock to see how much you've changed since before I went on my work trip. To be honest, it really broke my heart to see the difference. So, tell me straight, Brenda. Were you wearing makeup every time we video called during my business trip?
Mom, I'm sorry. I lied to you. I knew you were busy with work and I didn't want to burden you with my problems. I didn't want to worry you at all.
It's okay, sweetheart. You're safe here with me now. Please open up and tell me what happened between you and Gerald. I promise I'll do my best to help you through this.
You know, Mom, Gerald has always been so driven and focused in his career. Even if after I got pregnant, he kept attending work parties and leaving me alone for most of the day. Whenever I needed help with anything, he wouldn't lift a finger to assist. It's like he didn't care. And on top of that, he even demanded that I do household chores even when I was feeling sick from the pregnancy. Sometimes, after a night of drinking, he'd bring his colleagues home and expect me to cook and clean up after them.
Oh my God! I can't believe you had to endure all of that, sweetheart. I'm so sorry you had to go through such a terrible situation. What you've just shared with me is absolutely unacceptable. But why didn't you tell me about this earlier? I wish you had confided in me sooner. I would have done everything in my power to support you and put a stop to all of that nonsense.
I don't know, Mom. I guess I just thought you were working so tirelessly and putting so much effort into your project. I didn't want you to do anything that could jeopardize your career, so I decided to tough it out. I tried to handle everything on my own. I even attempted to have the doctors explain to Gerald about the physical changes during pregnancy, but it was all in vain. And with my in-laws living so far away, only accessible by flight, I couldn't rely on them either. It felt like I was all alone in this.
I'm so sorry for not realizing this sooner, Brenda. You had always put others before yourself. From now on, please prioritize yourself and your well-being, Brenda. Whenever you feel like you're struggling, Don't hesitate to ask for help.
Thank you, Mom. I can't express how grateful I am to have you by my side. I honestly don't know what I would do without you. I want you to know that it's not entirely your fault, okay? You warned me about Gerald's true character long before we even got married, but I was foolish and I didn't listen to your advice. I was completely deceived by him, thinking he was a good and caring man, and I rushed into marriage with him too quickly. In reality, it's me who owes you an apology. I'm sorry for not heeding your words, Mom. I deeply regret not listening to you, and I understand now how right you were about him.
It's all good now, sweetheart. Let's put all the negativity behind us and focus on taking care of yourself. You deserve a lot of rest. Trust me, everything will be okay. I've got your back, and together we'll get through this. Hello, Sandra? It's Emily, your next door neighbor. Are you free right now? I was wondering if you have some time to talk.
Oh, hi, Emily. Yes, I'm free at the moment. Can I help you with anything?
Oh, I hope I'm not interrupting or anything, but I heard you used to be a therapist, right? I could really use your counseling skills at the moment because my daughter isn't doing too well. Do you think you can help me out?
My goodness, I'm so sorry. Yes, I used to be a therapist, and I'll do my best to help you out. Just tell me what's going on with your daughter. What's been bothering her?
Well, my daughter Brenda is currently going through a challenging situation due to her husband's reckless behavior, and she happens to be pregnant. As a result, she's staying with me until her baby's due date. Considering your expertise as a skilled therapist, I was wondering if you could kindly recommend a reputable clinic.
I'm sorry, but would you mind providing me with more details about your daughter's current situation? This will help me offer you a more tailored and accurate recommendation.
Brenda is currently experiencing significant trauma due to the mistreatment she endured from her husband throughout her pregnancy. He consistently neglected her and subjected her to verbal abuse. He frequently prioritized his own desires, such as working late or socializing with friends, over fulfilling his responsibilities at home, leaving Brenda to handle all the household tasks on her own. Adding insult to injury, he even had the audacity to drop off their daughter at my place, claiming that she would be an inconvenience.
What kind of person is he? How could he possibly subject his own pregnant wife to such mistreatment? It's an act of pure cruelty that words simply cannot fully capture.
I'm shocked myself that he could stoop so low and treat my daughter in such a despicable manner. After staying at my place for a few weeks, Brenda has managed to gain some composure. However, as her due date approaches, her emotional state has been increasingly unstable. It's disheartening to see that every time I come home from work, the house is spotless. Even when I insist she rests, she continues to take on household chores. She's even attempting to move heavy mattresses or change burnt-out light bulbs. At times, she's tried to pack her bags and go home, fearing her husband's wrath.
Emily, I must admit that Brenda's situation is quite concerning. However, there's no need to worry. I can provide you with the addresses of a few reputable and suitable clinics for your daughter. Moreover, please, rest assured that I'll keep a close watch on Brenda while you're at work. I've already retired, so I'm more than willing to lend a helping hand.
Sandra, I can't express how thankful I am for your support. Your assistance means everything to me and my daughter. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
You're most welcome, Emily. We've been neighbors for so many years, and you've been there for me and my husband's countless times in the past. This is the least I can do to show my gratitude and repay your kindness.
Hi, is this Gerald? It's me, Emily.
Oh, Emily. What's your problem this time, huh? Why do you always have to bother me at the most inconvenient moments? Can't you ever get the timing right and stop calling me?
All right, Gerald. Let's get one thing straight. I don't like you. And if I could, I'd avoid talking to you altogether. But here's the deal. You're still my daughter's husband. And there's something she wants me to pass along to you.
What do you want now? Just get to the point already. I don't have any spare time to waste on your pathetic mind games.
Look, Brenda just gave birth to your baby girl. If there's even a tiny bit of decency left in you, you might want to consider heading to the hospital and checking on your wife. It's the least you could do, you know.
Oh, great. I guess I'll reluctantly swing by the hospital whenever I find the time to witness the hideous little thing that Brenda just managed to push out.
Excuse me? Hideous little thing? What are you talking about?
Oh, please. Spare me the fake shock. Are you seriously trying to act surprised? Everyone knows that newborns are downright repulsive, okay? They resemble monkeys, for crying out loud. Cute? Yeah, right. Not even close.
Evelyn is your daughter, alright? So do me a favor and watch your mouth when you're talking about her.
Look, save me the pointless sermon, will you? I'm a grown man, and I sure as hell don't need some nagging old hag like you telling me how to behave. Oh, so you've already given that hideous little creature a name, huh? Evelyn, huh? I can already tell that girl's gonna turn out just as worthless as her mother and grandmother.
Are you even human anymore? Your wife just went through the ordeal of risking her life to bring your child into this world. Can't you muster up something nice to say for once?
Oh, great. So it's a girl, huh? Surprise, surprise! Figures that a woman like Brenda would only produce utterly useless girls. You know what? I don't even feel like bothering to visit the hospital to check on Brenda anymore. She's probably lying in bed, unbothered to even put on makeup, I bet. And let's not forget how she's been packing on the pounds since getting pregnant. Who in their right mind would want any association with an ugly wife and an ugly daughter? Certainly not me. That's for damn sure.
Gerald, you've crossed a serious line here. Cut it out with your hurtful words and apologize to me and your daughter immediately.
Oh well, now that she's done pushing out a kid, you can inform her to get her lazy ass back to my house and resume her role as the maid. Look at how generous I am, right? Oh, and don't you dare forget to remind her that slacking off won't fly in my house. Your daughter can just saunter back in, laze around, and expect to be treated like royalty. No chance in hell that's gonna happen.
You know what, Gerald? Fine, have it your way. I honestly couldn't care anymore. However, just remember that actions have consequences, and you won't escape the repercussions of your despicable behavior.
Hey, Emily! Just a heads up, I'll be swinging by your place today to pick up Brenda and take her back to my house. I figured you should know in advance.
Huh? What's with the sudden change of plans? Why are you doing this all of a sudden?
Why are you asking such a ridiculously dumb question? Brenda happens to be my wife, so obviously I'm taking her back to live with me. What's so mind-boggling about that, huh?
Wait a minute. Didn't you tell me last time that you wanted nothing to do with my daughter and granddaughter anymore? Listen up. If you think you can just waltz back in and use my daughter as your personal maid again, you can kiss that crazy idea goodbye. There's absolutely no chance my daughter is getting back together with you.
What's with this ridiculous attitude, you insane old hag? I already told you, hand Brenda over to me, and I damn well mean it. If you refuse, I won't hesitate to call the cops on you for kidnapping. You have no idea what I'm capable of, so don't push me.
Gerald, can you please explain why you're suddenly so desperate to reconcile with my daughter? Just be honest with me, Gerald. I already have a good idea of what's going on.
What on earth are you blabbering about? What do you think you know, huh? I'm not falling for your pathetic trap. Just relay the message to Brenda and tell her to get her lazy butt back here. I don't have the time or patience to wait around for her.
Hey, it's Brenda. Let me make this absolutely clear, Gerald. I refuse to be under your control any longer, and I won't be coming back home. I'll be sending you the divorce papers, so go ahead and sign them.
Huh? Brenda? Are you kidding me? Where did this sudden rebellious attitude come from, Brenda? In today's world, a man with a wife and kids is more likely to succeed. What's the point of being married to you if we divorce? I'm never getting a divorce.
So you married and had a child with me just for the sake of your career advancement, huh? You're despicable, Gerald.
Listen, Brenda, it's not what you're assuming. I was just feeling confused, okay? I genuinely didn't mean what I said. You know that, right?
All right, no need to say more. Do you seriously think I'm going to believe any of the nonsense that comes out of your mouth now? My mom already filled me in on everything, you know? You're only trying to get me back because you're desperate to save your failing career. Am I right?
What in the world are you talking about? This whole situation has absolutely nothing to do with my career. Trust me. The truth is, I want you and our daughter back because I genuinely love and miss both of you. You're incredibly important to me, and I can't bear the thought of losing you.
Well. You sure have a talent for fabricating stories, don't you? But let me set the record straight. No matter how much you plead, the fact remains that you've already been fired, and there's absolutely no chance your boss will ever take you back.
But what have I done wrong?
Hey, let's not pretend here. You know exactly what you did, so spare me the victim act. It's a coincidence that your boss happens to be my mom's neighbor, but even if that weren't the case, your shady actions would still be exposed for all to see.
That's absolutely crazy. Honestly, I had no clue that your mom knows my boss. If I had known, I would have handled things differently. I promise you.
Yeah, that's correct. And when he discovered that you had been nothing but abusive towards me and neglecting our child, he was livid. Naturally, a guy who values family like your boss couldn't stand to see her treating your own kin like disposable objects.
You're the mastermind behind all of this, huh? You sneaky devil. You won't believe what my boss spilled. He straight up told me that he couldn't entrust his team to someone like me. Can you believe it? And that's not all. He even mentioned that he'd informed the CEO and my promotion would be scrapped.
Well, looks like karma finally caught up with you. How does it feel to get a dose of your own medicine?
Brenda, seriously? I can't wrap my head around how you're being so ice cold to me. Come on, cut me some slack and forgive me, will you? Let's just hit the rewind button and go back to the good old days when we were together. I know I messed up big time, but hey, I'm ready to do whatever it takes to make things right. So, what do you say? Can we give it another shot?
You've got nothing else to say to me, huh? Just admit it. All you ever care about is work and climbing your ladder of success. Well, Gerald, we're through. So long. Goodbye.
As it turns out, Gerald had been putting on a facade at work, all in the pursuit of that coveted promotion. He went straight to the CEO, trying to defend himself by claiming he was the hardest worker in the company and didn't deserve to be fired. But the CEO saw through his act and bluntly turned him down, revealing that his performance numbers might have looked good, but he had been resorting to aggressive tactics to secure contracts. Gerald left the CEO's office utterly humiliated by the rejection. After that, Gerald's enthusiasm for work dwindled. His constant errors became a burden, leading to his transfer to a regional department with minimal responsibilities. Once the transfer was settled, Gerald started coming to our house repeatedly, begging for another chance to reconcile with my daughter. However, when his persistence became overwhelming, we warned him that we would involve the authorities, and he disappeared from our lives. When Gerald's former boss discovered that my daughter was facing difficulties in getting her divorce accepted, he recommended a top-notch attorney. The divorce proceedings went smoothly, and Brenda was able to receive compensation for the emotional distress she had endured. I heard from one of Gerald's colleagues that during his last visit to the office, he looked completely different. He had grown a beard and appeared noticeably thinner. Brenda and I made a mutual agreement to shower Evelyn with love and support, ensuring she grows up to be a remarkable person, even in the absence of her father.